Good. One day is Monday, May 19th, 2025, your day for Tuesday, the 20th. All right, let's go. Well, as far as official setups, let's stick with this KGC. As you can see, not a whole lot in here again tonight. The good news is there is quite a bit of momentum out there, as you would expect with the S&P and other indices tending to plow ahead as of late. We'll get to that in just one second. A little bounce back at TFPM. Too soon to start kissing each other just yet, but it did get back above the 50. You know me, I sure like to see it bust out that IPT and beyond, but it's possible, and a lot of other golds did the same thing today too. It's possible that we have survived that correction. I need to stop, obviously, though, just in case. Still like the KGC, of course, wait for an entry as usual. Decent little rally there today. One short in here. I don't see any reason to go after it. I just want to kind of show you what I'm seeing, obviously, as I am seeing it. Let's take a look at the overall market, and obviously we'll drill down a little bit. First of all, S&P 500 started pretty weak, but did finish strong, so that's certainly a good thing. Usually in a bear market, a market does just the opposite, not to win in a bear market, but it's good to see a market start weak and finish strong as opposed to start strong and finish weak, obviously. Anyway, we're pushing into this overhead supply as we have been for quite a while. I was talking with a couple of you guys online, and one thing that we were discussing and I was pointing out is that when you have a quick, sharp sell-off and you have that V-shaped recovery, it comes right back, then people don't have too much time to think about their retirement or any other reasons that they might need to exit. The longer you stay at lower levels, the more pressure gets put on the market, and sometimes that longer-term downtrend can become more of a self-fulfilling prophecy. But anyway, a snapback is a good thing, and obviously, if you take a look, one thing I was thinking about right before I went live, at longer-term charts, then it has a bit of a knockout type of move to it when you have a V-shaped type recovery. Nasdaq Composite, same sort of action as the Ps. Did set the world on fire as far as net change, pretty much flat on a day, but it did recover nicely from its lowest levels. It too still has to get through the overhead supply. Take a look at the Rusty. A little bit of an opening gap reversal there too, but really didn't do a whole lot on the day after all was said and done. Still down nearly 0.5% and stalling right around these prior peaks. Sure really see Rusty kick into gear. It's got a lot of resistance to get through too. Let's take a look at some areas. Cyber computing almost at all-time highs, but again, I know I've been preaching this quite a bit, but these V-shaped recoveries are hard to sustain. Now, stranger things have happened. Take a look at the EFA shares. They were losing a little momentum, but then they banged out new highs with a bit of vigor, so that's obviously a good thing. Defense is none of those areas that made the V-shaped recovery and kept on going. That's fine with me. Let's wait for a pullback here, and then you tried to say, let's wait for a pullback, and then we'll look to get long. I swear I didn't have coffee today. As you go through the sectors, biotech's been beginning to chop around quite a bit, still in a downtrend, but getting choppy nonetheless. I wouldn't rush out and short those guys just yet. Semiconductors in the minus column by a little bit. They're still dealing with some of this overhead supply, like many other areas. Pot stocks continue to bottom out in here, but I wouldn't get too excited. One big down day obviously would negate that. Of course, one big up day would look like the mother of all bottoms remains in place. Major drugs up, and they're starting to look a little bit like biotech, a little wide and loose. Still questionable longer term, but getting a little wide and loose. So that's it for tonight. If you have any questions, Dave@Landry.com. Everybody have a fantastic night. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you so much.